Because look at what happens next in Mark chapter 9. Verse 14, and when they came to the disciples, they saw a great crowd. This is right after the Mount of Transfiguration. They saw a great crowd around them, and the scribes arguing with them. And immediately all the crowd, when they saw him, were greatly amazed and ran up to him and greeted him. And he asked them, what are you arguing about with them? And someone from the crowd answered him, Teacher, I brought my son to you. For he has a spirit that makes him mute, and whenever it seizes him, it throws him down, and he foams and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. So I asked your disciples, your followers, to cast it out, and they were not able. And Jesus answered, O faithless generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? Bring him to me. And they brought the boy to him, and when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed. And the boy, he fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. And Jesus asked his father, how long has this been happening to him? And he said, from childhood. And it has often cast him into fire and into water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. And Jesus said to him, if you can, all things are possible for one who believes. Immediately the father of the child cried out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. And when Jesus saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, you mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. And after crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, he is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he had entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could we not cast it out? And he said to them, this kind cannot be driven out by anything but prayer. They've gone from this mountaintop of communing with the Shekinah glory of God, seeing Jesus transfigured before them, to this valley of evil and confusion. The disciples are arguing with the crowd. There's a guy who needs help. His son has an unclean spirit. They can't cast it out. Do you see the similarity between what happened when Moses, after he had been on top of Mount Sinai communing with God, and he came down to the evil and the confusion of his older brother Aaron leading a rave with people dancing around a golden calf? I mean, do you see the similarities? This incredible holy moment, and then it descends to confusion, to a really disappointing valley. That's exactly what happens here. And the disciples don't even clue into the fact that they should have prayed in order to have the power to cast the unclean spirit out of this boy. Only the daddy of the afflicted boy acknowledges, you know what, I believe, but help me in my unbelief. I'm scared to death here, Jesus. I don't have it all together. I'm trying, really I am, but this scares me. Y'all, there is a necessity of spiritual neediness. All too often in the church, we pretend like we have it all together, and that is antithetical to the gospel. The gospel says we are victorious because of the finished work of Christ, but it does not say this is going to be an easy life. It says there will be difficult seasons in this life. There's going to be valleys in this life. There's going to be times when all of us need to say, I need help. I'm in a hard season. I'm not just going from glory to glory here. I am really struggling.